Why did the stock jump so much today?
Well, the stock jumped so much today because, they did beat analysts' expectations on revenue as well as profit, but it was, which is of course a loss still, but it was more so the language that came out of the statement and then the call as well, where CEO Brad Dickerson took over in November to try to, patch up some of the major problems that they've had over the last year. The language he used was, words like stability and confidence. He said, a lot of the problems that they had over the last year have been taken care of. He said he was going to increase marketing spending, which is something that they cut heavily last year and kind of led to growth falling off a cliff as they were trying to get their ship back in order. So, we'll see what happens. The stock did jump in the early part of the day, but by the end of the day, it was pretty much back to where it was at the close before the earnings even came out. So analysts, after digesting it, kind of reading a few reports, said, okay, maybe things aren't as rosy as we initially thought in the morning.
What remains the biggest risk factor for this company?
The biggest risk here is that, competition from Amazon sort of overtakes them, of course, and when analysts asked Brad Dickerson that question, how do you kind of come out of the gate and face some of this heavy competition, not just from Amazon, but from other upstarts, HelloFresh being, one of the key names there as well. He said, well, we've got a lot of products coming out this year that will kind of change our offering and allow us to, charge more money and find more customers. And people said, okay, what are those products? He said, well, we don't quite want to talk about it yet. So that's sort of where some of this uncertainty comes from. They don't want to just be a meal kit company. They want to be a full consumer lifestyle brand, and we're still waiting to see what exactly that's going to look like.
So when you look at 2018, what are the main things that you are going to be watching?
Well, those products are going to be a key one. I mean, we'll have to see exactly what they roll out. I mean, they'll probably be talking about their product roadmap in the next few months. I mean, that could be anything from doing partnerships with other food or drink companies. They could be, doing, just kind of, you can think about it, they have this brand that's sort of very trying to be kind of cuisine forward, fresh forward, healthy for you, but also very easy to prepare. So anything in that realm, expect to look for that. And they're also going to be increasing their marketing and then sort of seeing where that goes from here. So the big thing is just really, now that they say they've kind of got this major growth issue out of control, or sort of in control now, what's kind of the next step?
So quickly, Blue Apron came up in an unexpected place, the White House budget. What happened there?
Right, so there, buried in the White House budget was this plan, sort of a combination between a couple government departments to do food delivery to people who at this point are getting food stamps. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with the stock up and down at Blue Apron. Obviously, they weren't necessarily specifically mentioned, more as an example of what the government wants to do. Anti-hunger activists and sort of poverty activists were very, confused by this statement from the government. It's sort of very early stages, but if it's any sort of measure, it's been tough for a private company such as Blue Apron to make this business model work. It will probably be tough for the government to do it as well.